Hello gang, Merlindon on the mic. Today we will talk about the new OP10 leader, Usopp. This is a blue-black leader, 4 life, 5k attack power, and the attribute of this card is that hero cost 2 and greater Dressrosa, and I repeat Dressrosa type characters have +1 cost. So it's harder for your opponents to KO your cards based on their cost. And when your opponent plays, so on his turn, if he KOs something of you, so a Dressrosa type character of yours, by an effect, or if he kills that and you have 5 or less cards, then you get to draw 1 card. So it's sort of like Boa Hancock type effect, but a little bit stronger in my opinion. Of course, in this guide, in this in-depth guide, we will analyze first everything in this deck using a PDF guide that I created. Then we will check the list in the simulator, and finally we will also see 3 matches and how you play with this leader, and some really good use cases, if you ask me. So we talked about this leader. What do you search? What do you want to see in your starting hand? You want to see your Leo. Your Leo is one of the best utility cards in this deck, because you play this, you rest your states or your leader, and then you take 2 cards and you trash 1 card. So you recycle with this card, and you also draw. Such a great card. Your Colosseum, your bread and butter, you need that so that when you play a Dressrosa type character, it can attacks on the turn they are played, not active characters but rested characters, also not the leader but rested characters, I repeat. And of course you can use your Corrida Colosseum for effects like Leo, like Zoro. We'll talk about Zoro later. And of course the Rebecca, your other searcher. Between 1 and 3 Dawn, you have many cards to play. You play your Leo, you play your Colosseum, you play your Rebecca, you play a blocker, so you establish something between the first and your second turn. Between 4 and 6 Dawn, you play your Cavendish, you play your Zoro, you play blocker, and you can also play Sabo if you don't have anything else to play. Again, we will talk about the cards later on. Between your 7 and 8 Dawn, you play your Rebecca. Rebecca is your Gecko Moria in this deck, and it's, in my humble opinion, maybe stronger than Gecko. Gecko has the benefit to grab cards of your trust, right? Which is great. And Rebecca, you need to sacrifice cards from your hand in order to play them. But you have your leader's ability and you draw the whole time new cards, so you are almost never low on cards in your hand in this deck. And of course your Kyros comes almost always with your Rebecca together, which is a 7 cost 9k body, and he bounces back 1 character 5 cost or less to your opponent's hand. He helps you to maintain control on the board. Your finishers is your Monkey D. Luffy from the OP10 and your Gum King Kong Gun. You can use this character. So first of all, this character can attack active characters, and if you have the Colosseum, it can also do it on the turn that you play him, right? And you can activate main, you can return 7 cards from your trust to the bottom of your deck, and this character becomes active again. Then he, on the next refresh phase, he cannot reset active, but you can attack twice on a turn. And if you, this card has a 7 cost, right? And this card has a 3 cost. If you combine these 2 cards, it's unstoppable, because when you activate this card again, he will still have this plus 6k power and double attack, right? What do you have in this deck to defend yourself? You have your Gum Red Rock to get rid of some, let's say, big characters of your opponents and some big threats, like a 10 cost Stitch or something like that. You have your 2Ks here, and Bartolome is also a blocker, you can play it as a blocker as well, and of course Frankie and Ideo, which both of them are blockers. Combinations, this is your Gecko Moria, like we said, you play your Rebecca into a Kyros, into one of these cards, and once you play Rebecca and then Kyros returns a 5 or lower character to its owner's hand, and if you get to play a Zoro as a second card, rest it, but if you play him, he has a non-play effect, so you rest your stage or your leader, and then you also KO something of 4 cost or less. So this combo is brutal. And if you bring a Frankie back, it's not that good as a Zoro, but he's a blocker. And if your opponents kill this character, you bring back from your graveyard a 3 cost or lower. So you can bring back Bartolomeo or Inidio or something like that. Other combination, you can use your one-legged soldier with your Roronoa Zoro in order to KO something with 6 cost or less, or with Kyros, and you can bounce back something of 7 cost or 7 cost or less is with Zoro, and 8 cost or less is with Kyros. And of course Gum King Gongan with your Monkey D. Luffy. This would be the best case scenario, because you can re-stun this character and attack twice with the plus 6k power and the double attack. You prefer to go first in this deck. Why? Because you have the perfect curve here, as you can see. So on your first turn you play your Leo, you play your Rebecca, you play your Colosseum. On your 3 dawns you play one of these again, or a blocker, or establish a blocker. On your 5 dawn you can play one of these characters here and attach 1 dawn to your leader and attack, or one of these 1 cost cards here. On your 7 dawn it's really important to play your Rebecca on curve and bring a Kyros and one of these into the field. On the 9 and 10 dawn you can play your finisher, combine that with Gum King Gongan, or continue playing Rebeccas into Kyros, and so on. And if you go second, on your first turn you can play one of these cards, so Colosseum, Leo, Searcher, or a blocker. Between 4 and 6 dawn you can establish some bodies, so Roronoa Zoro, Frankie, Cavendish, another blocker, or if you don't have anything, Sabo. 8 dawn Rebecca into Kyros into something, best case scenario, and then 10 dawn you continue with Rebecca's, or you play your finisher Monkey D. Luffy. So let's see our deck list. This is our deck list. So we talked about the leader. He gives to your Dressrosa character of cost 2 or more plus 1 cost, and then if your opponent KOs with an effect, or by attacking that with a character, one of your characters, and you have 5 or less cards in your hand, then you draw 1 card. Your Cavendish, 4 cost 6k, when attacking you draw 2 cards, you trash 1 card from your hand, so you recycle and you draw 1 card, right? Kyros, you bounce back 1 for 5 cost or less. Sabo, this card protects your characters from being KO'd, or it's a 2k. So because it says if one of your characters other than Sabo with an original cost of 7 or cost 7 or lower would be removed from the board from an effect of your opponents, let's say that someone C-guns one of your characters, then you can instead rest this, or not rest, excuse me, you can return this character to your hand, and if you do so, your card will be not KO'd from the effect, and you get 1 2k card back to your hand. Leo, you rest your Sage or your leader, you draw 2, you trash 1. Rebecca, your Gecko Moria here, you play a 7 cost or lower and a 4 cost or lower, rest it, so the other will be active. So you play this into Kyros, into let's say Zoro, or you play this into Luffy, into a blocker, and so on. These are your blockers, and also a 2k Bartolomeo. Monkey D. Luffy, we talked about this character, can attack active characters, and you can combine that with Colosseum, and of course you can restand him if you return 7 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck. Rebecca is a searcher, One leg soldier 2k, and you can use him to a -3. Frankie, it's a blocker, and when he's dead he brings back one 3-cost or lower Dressrosa from your trust, so you bring back your Bartolomeo, your Ideo, and so on. Roronoa Zoro, you rest your Colosseum or your leader, and then you KO one cost 4 or lower, and you play the top 2 cards of your deck into your trust. Gum Gum Red Rock, we know this card, we bottom deck something that's a big threat. Gum Gum King Kong Gun, we combine that with our Monkey D. Luffy or another Dressrosa character. He gains plus 6k power and double attack. And our States, which is one of the most important cards in this deck, because your Dressrosa characters can attack on the turn that they are played. So let's don't talk more about the deck and see it in action, guys. First we go against Purple Luffy. We go second here. He doesn't have a Law in his first turn. We do have a Leo, and we play the Leo, we draw one card, so we draw 2 cards and we trust one. Then on his 4th dawn he plays Zoro, and do we have an answer? Yes, we do. We have our own Roronoa Zoro. So we have already established our Colosseum. So we play our Zoro, we rest our Colosseum, and we KO this Zoro like it's nothing. Then we attack also with our leader. On his turn he plays a Law, he plays a Zoro, he attaches 2 dawns, and he attacks our leader. We take that, guys, and now it's our turn. We are at 6 dawns, so we need one more turn to play our Rebecca. We hit him with our Zoro, with our Usopp, and then we establish 2 blockers, because why not, right? Now he plays a Sanji. He attacks our Ideo with his Law. No, we don't want to give up to this Ideo so early, so we give him a 2k and some time to think. Then he attacks our Ideo with his leader. We draw 1 card of our leader's effect, because we had only 3 cards, right? And then he attacks our Zoro with his Zoro, and he has 1 more Sanji. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm at 3 life, but I need cards at this point of the game. So I gave him this body, and then I took the life because I was searching for cards. Unfortunately, we draw another Rebecca, but we do draw now a Cavendish. We have a Monkey D. Luffy, so we have our combo. We can play Rebecca into Monkey D. Luffy into Cavendish. So first we hit him with Leo, then we hit him his Zoro with our leader 6k, and then we play our combo. We play our Rebecca into Monkey D. Luffy into Cavendish, and just like that we have a full board of characters, right? So then he tries to kill our Cavendish with his Zoro, we counter that. Then he plays his Monkey D. Luffy, 9 cost, he attacks our Cavendish, we block that if I remember correctly. And now he can't do anything. So first we use our Sanji, our Frankie's effect, we bring back Bartolomeo, and from our leader's ability we draw a card. Then we defend this Cavendish from all these hits, so from his from the hit of this Sanji, and then we protect also our blocker from this leader's attack. Now we have a Red Rock, so first we hit him with 5k, so we will hit him with everything that we have here. Leo, Rebecca, we want him to give us some cards, right? And he gave us here 2 cards. Now we have 6 stones, and I was like, okay, you know what? I will attack you with my leader, with my Cavendish, with my Monkey D. Luffy, and I will see how you react. If I want to to attack you twice then with my Monkey D. Luffy. So he takes the first hit, and I was like, okay, you know what? I will now attack you with Cavendish. So we recycle, but we keep this Red Rock as a plan B, and he takes. So what do we do now? We don't need this Red Rock. We will hit him twice with 13k. So we do it once. He has only one card, one active Dawn, and then we return 7 cards. We activate this Monkey D. Luffy again, and we kill him. We finish him off with 13k. Second hit. The second match is against a Black Yellow Luffy. First we play our Rebecca, we search, we play our Leo, we search, so we keep searching, we play our Ido here, our blocker, and of course we chill, because we want to play the long game here. He attacks us, I think we block that, because we draw another card from our leader's ability and we want to play this Kyros. We have 3 Kyros, right? We have 3 Kyros and Rebecca. So I'm just chilling. I was like, okay, you know what? I will return everything that you have back to your hand and I will establish 3 9k bodies, mate. And this is exactly what we do here. We play our Rebecca into our Kyros, into something else here. And of course we return one of these Kuzans back to his hand, because he needs to sacrifice some cards in order to play them, right? And we play also a Cavendish so that we can start recycling cards. And we attack him also, because we have started to establish some bodies on the field. And we want steadily to take some of his life. We sacrifice off our first blocker, we get for free a second one from our graveyard. Now we play our second Kyros, and I was like, do I want to return your Sabo on your hand or your Kuzan? It's better to return your Kuzan, because with your Sabo you get to recycle things and cannot be KO'd. So I will return your Kuzan and make it even harder for you to swing to me. But we have established 2 Kyros here. I was like, okay, you know what? I will return now your Luffy. We have 3 Kyros on the field. We have a Cavendish. We are ready, right? And we still have 3 life. We hit him with our Cavendish. We recycle. We also have so many 2Ks in our hand. But he has like 100 cards in his hand, right? You see that as well. So we hit him with 5, again with 5, then we use one of our Kyroses to or our leader to attack his Sabo. I think he gives us a 2k here. Oh no, he gives us his Sabo. And I was like, here, you know what? Be my guest, I have 3 9k bodies on the field. What are you going to do? Right? He has used 2 of his Dons for a Flambe and now a Hiyori. He plays now a Luffy. He brings a Luffy. With his Luffy he KOs one of my Kyroses, so I have 2 left, and then he does the Black Yellow Luffy things, so he's now a 9k body. He swings 11k, I take, I'm still healthy, I don't care at all. And now I attack him with 5k to his Kuzan to make him block that or give me some cards. He gives me some cards which I like, because at this point of the game I just want him to give me as many cards as possible. He has 11 cards at the moment on his hand, and then I swing twice 12k if I remember correctly. And the reason why I do that is to take some cards from his hand, which I do. I take a 2k, 1k, 1k, that tells me that he does not have other 2ks on his hand, and then I go again 12k, and I think he sacrifices the blocker, right? And then I play my Indo. because I was like, okay, you can do whatever you want. He plays the Moria, of course. He brings the Luffy, he brings one Sabo, he's still at 1 life. Black Yellow Luffy things, right? So 11k, swing into my IDEO, and then again, I want some cards from his hand. 9k, recycle, 9k again with my Kyros, 9k again with my other Kyros. At some point he will run out of resources, and as you can see, he's down at 4 cards, right guys? 4 cards. Then I play my Frankie, then I play my Bartolomeo, so 2 blockers, and I have many cards in my hand. So he plays now his Monkey D. Luffy, he KOs one of my blockers, and then he attacks also with his Flambe. I think this was a mistake because he attached 4 dons instead of 5. He didn't do the math correctly here, but that wouldn't make any difference on the result. I had many cards in my hand. I took that hit from his Luffy, and then again with his Moria, but I was like, okay, you know what? I will counter that because it's a 9k, and the next hit will be even higher. Can be like an 11k hit, right? If he wants to. But what he does is he plays a Luffy. He attacks with 9k, and he goes like, okay, if you block that, I will stay with 2 life. If you don't, I will KO your blocker, right? And my blocker, of course, brings back another blocker from the graveyard. So brings back a Bartolomeo. And he uses this Monkey D. Luffy to KO my Bartolomeo because he wants to go for game, which I understand. And then again, I was like, I want your cards, mate. I want your cards. 9k with my Cavendish. He gives me his 1k. Then again 9k with my Luffy, with my Kyros, excuse me. I think he gives me another 1k. But no, the life. He has no life at the moment. And I was like, okay, now I either go with Gum King Kong, or I play it more defensively. This is what I did. Flambe, and then again 9k. He counters that as well with a 2k. So it's better that I wanted to play defensively. So I established 2 new blockers, guys. And then he plays another Rocket Luffy, he KOs my Bartolomeo, he goes then 7 with his Sabo, I counter that, and then he goes 7 again with his leader, which I also counter, and it's GG because now he has only 2 hits left. He's a 5k leader, he has no cards, only 3 cards, and I have a blocker and 1 life. So it's GG at this point. And the last game, come on mate, you can concede. You don't stand any chance at this point. Exactly, concede. And the last game, it's against Hannyabal. So we play our states, we go first, we play our state. He plays 2 cost and he ramps. Then we are 3 cost, we attack him with 5. And we establish a 3 cost blocker, and guess what, he plays at 5 cost. So first he attacks, of course, and I think I take, I'm not sure, yes I take, and he plays a Magellan. So I go back 1 don, it's okay I guess, I attack him, and then I establish a Cavendish, and then he's now at 6 dons. What does he play? You can guess it. You can guess it. So he attacks first with his Magellan. I block that. He plays another Magellan. Yes, you knew that, didn't you? So on the next turn I'm at 5 Dawn, but I was like, okay, you know what, 2 more turns, 5 then 7. At 7 Dawn I can give you an Magellan back to your hand and I will not care at all. So what we do here is we attack also with Cavendish, we draw 2 cards, we recycle 1, and we just ignore at the moment his 2 Magellans, right? We play our Leo, we play our second Leo, so we establish and we try of course to defend ourselves here by also playing an Ideo, which is a blocker, right? Now it's his turn, he will attack me. First I will counter that. Why? Because I want to have 5 or less cards in my hand before I sacrifice my blocker so that I can draw an extra card, and this is exactly what I do here, right? So I counter the first one, the second one, do I block that? Or no, I counter that as well because I wanted to block the third hit and draw a card, and this is exactly what we do here. We block that and we draw a card, and he plays a Mino Koala and another 2 cost. He has a full board, guys. We have only 7 Dons and we have the perfect hand for that. The perfect hand. Rebecca into Kyros, into Roronoa Zoro, and what we do here is of course we use our Roronoa Zoro effect, we KO this mini koala, Kyros effect, we return one of these Magellans to his hand, and we have now a full board of characters, of big characters. We have another Kyros waiting on the line to return the other Magellan of his in his hand, and of course at this point I was like, you know what, I will attack your Magellan with my Kyros. If you want I can lose 2 Dons, I don't really care, because on the next turn I will be still or again at 7 Don, so I will get to play my other Kyros, and if not, if you want to play another Magellan, be my guest. I have a full board of characters here waiting for you. So as you can see, he tries to desperately to kill my Cavendish. He can do that, and then he plays a Mihawk. We lose a card, so we draw another card from our leader's ability, which is great. And now, guys, he's at 2 life, only 5 cards left. And of course, we go 7, and then again 7, I think, or 6, right? Then we go 7, and then 9 with Kyros, and we get the game. Yeah, guys, so these were the matches, this was the deck list. Although at first I didn't like the idea of playing a character like, or a leader like Usopp, guys, it's an awesome deck. It's a deck that you can have fun with playing with it, and it can also perform really well on your locals, and of course also in bigger tournaments. So try this deck, tell me what you think in the comment section below, hit this like button if you like the video, and I hope that you all enjoyed this video as much as I did when I created it. So thank you all for watching, guys.